You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Coming up, the latest on that deadly shooting in Pittsburgh at the synagogue, how the Suncoast Jewish community is coming together to show support for those victims.
Plus, the latest on that mail bomb terror suspect, as new surveillance video showing his working hours before getting busted by the FBI is released.
And World Series champions. We'll show you how the Boston Red Sox won their latest championship. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. They couldn't win for decades and decades. Now they've won 4 times the past 14 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You could have told me anything and I would have believed you.
Oh, well, I'll keep that in mind. 6 o'clock, I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jess Dowdrick. Let's head right over to meteorologist John Scalzi, who has a look at our fall forecast today.
I think Judy Gallagher is probably a very happy lady
Yes.
today, no doubt. So we have this big ridge of high pressure that sits right over the state of Florida again today, providing us with conditions that we saw yesterday as well. Beautiful sunshine, low relative humidity, and a nice gentle wind. I think that'll be the case today, although the winds may be a little bit lighter than they were 24 hours ago. A little bit of cloud cover down to the south of us, but not much over the state of Florida. In fact, we'll get through the day with high UV index and no rain chance. In fact, Titan radar showing no rain anywhere across the state of Florida. Forecast in a minute.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now. We've got an issue there on 41 southbound as you get past Cortez and head toward Bayshore Gardens. Also the usual delays on 301. Also look at that 64 on either side of the interstate in the eastbound direction. Be aware of that. Farther south, a little blip there on University westbound from the diverging Diamond toward Honore. Also Clark Road eastbound from Lockwood Ridge toward Beneva, and South County all clear right now as of 6:01. Some breaking news in the Far East from Indonesia, where a passenger plane crashed in the sea carrying 189 people.
The flight went missing soon after takeoff from the nation's capital, Jakarta, early Monday morning local time. Search and rescue crews are on the scene looking for debris near where it's believed that the plane went down. There are not believed to be any survivors. Stay with us right here throughout the morning for updates and throughout the day on our website, mysuncoast.com.
New developments now out of Pittsburgh, where the city continues to mourn the death of 11 people killed in a synagogue shooting on Saturday morning.
ABC's Janae Norman is in Washington with the latest on what's now considered the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history.
As soon as he came into the lobby, he opened fire.
Saturday services at the Tree of Life Synagogue were interrupted by gunfire. The gunman, 46-year-old Robert Bowers, armed with an AR-15 assault rifle and handguns, said to be hurling words of hate against Jews as he murdered them.
Suspects talking about all these Jews need to die. We're still communicating with them.
The city of Pittsburgh left reeling in a vigil Sunday honoring the 11 victims ranging in age from 54 to 97. Among them, 2 brothers, a family doctor, and a husband and wife married at that same synagogue more than 60 years ago.
We're here to support the Jewish community. What was done yesterday was not just harmful to the Jewish community, but really a continuation of the challenges we have in the U.S.
Police say the suspect was not on their radar and had no record, but releasing chilling details about the man behind the rampage fueled by hate. The introduction to his social media page says it all. Jews are the children of Satan.
We stand together as a community that rejects hatred and violence.
Just an hour before the deadly assault, Bowers posted on the fringe social media site Gab, which is popular among white supremacists, writing, "I can't sit by and watch my people get slaughtered. Screw your optics, I'm going in."
I think this is another example of hate in our country that just doesn't go away.
The mayor called Saturday the darkest day in Pittsburgh's history. That suspect was injured in a shootout with police and then taken into custody, and now prosecutors want to seek the death penalty. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
And the Pope also spoke out about the shooting on Saturday. Yesterday, Pope Francis called the attack, quote, an inhumane act of violence. He also offered condolences to the Pittsburgh Jewish community. During his weekly address at the Vatican, the pontiff prayed for an end to outbreaks of hate that develop in societies across the world.
And happening in Florida, Governor Rick Scott is trying to make sure people stay safe here following that shooting in Pittsburgh. He directed the Florida Highway Patrol to increase the presence of state troopers at religious institutions. FHP will work with local police departments and sheriff's offices to determine how to increase safety in each community. Governor Scott said he will do everything in his power to protect Floridians who are peacefully gathering to worship. And happening tonight here on the Suncoast, the Jewish Federation of Sarasota and Manatee is holding a community-wide vigil for shooting victims. The event will be at the Beatrice Friedman Theater on the Larry Greenson Family Campus for Jewish Life on McIntosh Road in Sarasota. You can find more details on our website, mysuncoast.com.
Now to another major headline, the latest on that mail bomb terror suspect. This is surveillance video we just got, which shows the package bomb suspect, Cesar Sayak, during the same week he's accused of targeting prominent Democrats. Okay, we're not going to see that surveillance video. Sayak is seen greeting customers inside a West Palm Beach gentleman's club. Hours later, the FBI took him down. So far, 14 packages containing pipe bombs have been intercepted, addressed to critics of President Trump, from President Obama to Hillary Clinton.
There may be other packages in transit now and other packages on the way.
Now, happening today, Sayak is expected to make his first appearance in federal court, where we could learn new details about the alleged crimes.
More than 250,000 people across the state have registered to vote since the last registration deadline for the primary elections. The Florida Division of Elections breaking it down by party affiliation. Nearly 5 million Floridians are registered Democrats. 4.6 million are Republicans and 3.5 million claim neither party. While there has been much talk of a potential blue wave as Democrats seek to push back against President Trump, so far more GOP voters have cast ballots in Florida than the Democrats, with more than 990,000 Republicans already casting their vote compared to just over 916,000 Democrats. And as a reminder, this is the last week for early voting. In Manatee County, voters can cast ballots from 8:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. at 5 locations: Lakewood Ranch Town Hall, Manatee County Utilities Administration offices, the Palmetto Library, Rocky Bluff Library, and the Supervisor of Elections office. Then in Sarasota County, you can vote at the 3 Supervisor of Elections offices in Sarasota, Venice, and Northport, as well as North Sarasota's Library, Fruitville Library, and the Westfield Sarasota Square Mall. Those locations are open from 8:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Early voting in both Sarasota and Manatee counties runs through Sunday.
Now, you'll also be asked to decide whether or not to ban greyhound racing in Florida by the year 2021. Supporters of the ban say greyhound racing frequently leaves dogs with gruesome injuries and some even dead. State records do show on average about 2 greyhounds die of injury or illness each week at Florida's 11 tracks, but racing supporters say the state's 8,000 racing greyhounds are actually treated better than most pets and are happiest when they're competing. The proposal would need at least 60% support across Florida in order to move forward.
In sports, Fitzmagic comes up just short as quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick came in the second half for the Tampa Bay Bucks to take on the Cincinnati Bengals yesterday. In the third quarter, Jameis Winston's pass intercepted for the pick-6 touchdown. That was Winston's 10th interception of the season. That's when Ryan Fitzpatrick got the chance to enter the game. Now to the fourth quarter, Fitzpatrick coming back from 18 points behind, passes to O.J. Howard for the touchdown to tie the game late at 34, but the Bengals get down into field goal range. Randy Bullock with the kick, and it's good. The Bengals hold on to win 37-34.
They almost came back. Next time, start with Fitzpatrick. They'll do a lot better. New this morning, the Boston Red Sox are once again the World Series champions. Let's see how they did it last night. Here's Game 5 in Los Angeles. Wasting no time, Steve Pearce hits a 2-run home run in the top of the first off Clayton Kershaw. Take our words for it, it happened. Let's skip to the end instead. This is when the Red Sox actually beat the Dodgers 5-1 in the best-of-5 series. The MVP, Steve Pearce of Lakeland. He played for the Orioles twice, and he was the MVP. So congratulations to the Red Sox.
All right, still to come on Good Morning Suncoast. People are stepping up to make their voices heard ahead of the midterm elections. And coming up at 6:30, we'll tell you why it takes years before crops in Florida fully recover from the effects of Hurricane Michael.
It is 6:09 right now on this Monday morning, 29th day of October. If you're inclined to go to the beach today, John Scalzi has a preview for you.
Yeah, it should be a pretty nice day at the beach in terms of the sunshine. There'll be plenty of it. UV index will be high, and we'll look for a temperature that'll probably come in about 88 degrees or so. Or sorry, 85 degrees or less. Across the region, we're looking at, marine spotters indicating, well, we do have a little bit of an uptick in the amount of toxins that are being reported as being irritant in the air, and that's at Holmes Beach, Siesta Key, and Minnesota. Most places, though, are showing none. That's what the green flags are. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com.
Ghetto's got it.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 55-degree air temperature. You have a dew point value of 53. It's a nice, cool, crisp start to the day. In fact, some places are very cool. Becky in Omayaca, traditionally one of our coolest locations, reported temperatures in the 40s there. So that's how big a difference you can have when the air is this dry between inland temperatures and coastal regions. So we're looking at a temperature that continues to climb today, but only to about 80 degrees or so. We'll go with 81 for a daytime high at around 3 p.m., but no rain in today's forecast. A lot of sunshine, hardly a cloud in the sky, just deep blue, pristine Florida skies, and that's the way it's going to look today. Now, in the northeast, there is an area of low pressure that continues to produce some rainfall. Really anywhere from the West Virginia area all the way up through Pennsylvania into New York and eventually on into down East Maine. It's a low pressure area that will continue to lift northward with the day, and we'll start to see some clearing take place from the Delmarva northward up through New York as we head into the afternoon. Around our area, well, it's more of the same. Big ridge of high pressure sits in, and that provides us with some pretty quiet, tranquil conditions. Hard to even wring out a drop of rain out of this kind of a sky. With low relative humidity and with plenty of sunshine, it should be a delightful afternoon. But the temperatures will probably only climb to slightly below average values, no above average values. Maybe by the time we get to midweek, we'll start to see temperatures that run a degree or two above average. Futurecast put into motion, well, you hardly notice it's in motion except for a few fair weather clouds that exist out here in the Gulf. There's a weak frontal boundary kind of limping through that'll basically wash away. High pressure stays with us, and we are left with this dry air mass. Check this out. This is the water vapor imagery. The tan colors indicating the dry air in the atmosphere, and we have a swath of dry air going all the way across the Gulf waters, and that is just going to eliminate rain shower chances at least through midweek. High pressure stays with us. It eventually works its way out into the Atlantic, and when that happens, a wind shift just a little bit and will perhaps bring us a little bit more humidity, noticeably more humidity by the time we get to Wednesday. And although we will see perhaps an uptick in temperature by a degree or two on Wednesday, it's still not going to be an uncomfortable day, and I think the trick-or-treaters will be just fine in the evening. Mostly sunny skies, low relative humidity, and then on Friday, another frontal boundary back to the west will approach with its chance of rain showers. Forecast looks like this. North wind comes in at about 10 today, so not a strong wind particularly. We'll have 81 for a daytime high today. Tomorrow, the 81 will turn to an 83. And then get even warmer still on Halloween, coming in at about 84. We'll start to cloud up on Thursday, work in a chance of rain showers on Friday, and then the front moves through and clears us out for the weekend, lowering our temperatures once again. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Taking a look now at first alert traffic. We begin in Manatee County, where there is an accident on I-75 southbound at mile marker 222. That's just after you cross over the US 301 exit if you're heading southbound, so beware of that. Right after the State Road 64 exit if you're heading northbound. There's also some slight delays on US 41 southbound near State Road 70. As we head south into Sarasota County, there are some slight delays on Fruitville Road if you're heading east of the interstate. If you take a look there, I-75 northbound, there's some fencing on the road at exit 207 at Bee Ridge Road. Doesn't appear to be causing any delays at this hour, but be aware of that if you're heading in that direction. And as we take a look even further south into southern Sarasota County, there's nothing major to report at 6:17 on your Monday morning. In entertainment news, Halloween slashes its way to the top of the box office again, and celebrities take a political stand ahead of the midterms.
Jason Nathanson has today's Showbiz Wrap.
He's waiting for me.
Halloween continued to scare the cash out of audiences this weekend at the box office. The horror sequel earned the top spot again with an estimated $32 million in its second weekend, crossing the $100 million mark domestically. A Star is Born and Venom continued strong in second and third respectively, contributing to what is now the highest earning October in box office history. Jim Carrey used an honor over the weekend to blame Republicans for the division in our country right now. He got the British Academy's Charlie Chaplin Award for Humor at the Britannia Awards, but the funny man was pretty serious.
All of this division, all of this ill will is coming from one place, and one place alone, and it's enabled by the Republican Congress, who have shirked their responsibility absolutely in every way, and I think they'll be remembered by history as ones who enabled some very, very dark times in our country.
Meanwhile, Kanye West is encouraging a black exit from the Democratic Party. He's helped design Blexit t-shirts, which debuted over the weekend at the Young Black Leadership Summit in D.C. The shirts say Blexit and We Free. And birthdays today, Oscar-winning actor Richard Dreyfuss is 71, while Emmy-nominated Blackish actress Tracee Ellis Ross turns 46. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
It looks like NBC has canceled Megyn Kelly's morning show. The network says instead, other co-anchors of the Today Show will host the program. The cancellation comes after Kelly made offensive comments about blackface Halloween costumes. While the program has ended, Kelly's exit from NBC News is not official yet. Kelly's newly hired attorney said she remains an employee of NBC News for now. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll have the latest on a mail bomb suspect, Cesar Sayoc, who's scheduled to make an appearance in federal court today.
And next half hour, we'll have local reaction to that deadly synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh and tell you how the Suncoast is coming together to honor the victims. But first, here is a look at the Jewish Federation on McIntosh Road. In fact, tonight, we'll tell you right now instead. They're going to host a vigil this evening. We'll have details next half hour. And there's a live picture from McIntosh Road where tonight's vigil will be held locally in memory of those 11 victims in Pittsburgh. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
For the best car buying experience, go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota, where you always get better prices and a bigger selection. Like KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $22,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Cancer doesn't run in my family. That really was the farthest thing from my mind. I've been an athlete my whole life and I work in sports, so my mindset was just, let's fight. So our stories are all unique, so whatever you're going through, ask questions, get information and be involved. Don't ignore the signs, join the fight. I'm Tony Beasley and I'm a stage 2 colorectal cancer survivor.
Support the Hurricane Michael Relief and Disaster Fund by donating to the United Way of Northwest Florida today. Help communities rise and rebuild after the devastating mess left behind. 100% of all Hurricane Michael donations are applied to the local relief efforts in the Northwest Florida area. Every donation makes a difference and is appreciated. Together, we are all Panhandle Strong.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Find out first at 4 with ABC 7 News at 4. Weekdays on ABC 7.
Welcome back. Happening today, mail bomb suspect Cesar Sayoc is scheduled to make an appearance in federal court.
ABC's Victor Oquendo has a preview.
In this morning's GMA First Look, new details on the man behind those explosive devices that terrorized a nation. 56-year-old Cesar Sayoc, seen here in these videos obtained exclusively by ABC News at a South Florida strip club the morning of his arrest. The nationwide manhunt for Sayoc beginning last Monday when Democratic philanthropist George Soros received the first IED at his home in suburban New York. Over the course of a week, 13 other packages were sent to prominent Democrats, including President Obama and Secretary Clinton, culminating with Sayoc's arrest Friday. All this painting a stark contrast to the images of Sayoc seen here in these surveillance videos taken just days before the manhunt began, laughing and greeting guests at the Ultra Gentlemen's Club in West Palm Beach, where he worked as a door host for the past 2 months. And we'll have more video coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Victor Oquendo, ABC News, Miami.
After my DVT blood clot, I wondered, is another one around the corner? Or could it be different than I thought? I wanted to help protect myself. My doctor recommended Eliquis. Eliquis is proven to treat and help prevent another DVT or PE blood clot. Almost 98% of patients on Eliquis didn't experience another. And Eliquis has significantly less major bleeding than the standard treatment. Eliquis is FDA approved and has both.
Don't stop Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. If you had a spinal injection while on Eliquis, call your doctor right away if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
What's around the corner could be surprising. Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $249 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Coming up, we'll have local reaction to that deadly synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh and tell you how the Suncoast is coming together to remember the victims.
Plus, how much do you know about a used car you might want to buy? We'll tell you about a growing number of cars that have been through floods.
And we'll tell you why Facebook is removing more Iranian pages targeting people in the U.S. and the U.K. Those stories, plus your first alert forecast coming up this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jess Daldrick at 6:30 on your Monday morning.
You can't forget that, can you?
No. I had to think about it for a second, though.
We all know it's Monday. It's October 29th. I'm Ray Collins. And John, I spent the week in Palm Springs. 95 degrees out there.
Yeah, I know. And we got our little blast of fall here.
Yes.
While you were gone. And it still lingers around this morning, certainly. Some temperatures that are still in the 50s across the region. A lot of sunshine in store for you. Not much here to complain about. A lot of sunshine. Not much in the way of a rainfall chance today. We do have rain coming. Not today, however, but later on down the road. And we'll be talking about that in detail in a few minutes. Our forecast calls for a daytime high, the top side, about 81 degrees under sunny skies and low relative humidity. Forecast in a minute.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. I-75, a southbound issue up there at mile marker 222. Actually, we're here. It's a vehicle fire going on there. Doesn't show any residual delays, but right now avoid southbound 75 around 222. That's just south of the Manatee River. Farther south, an issue there. Northbound 75, some fencing on the road. You don't see that too often. That's at Bee Ridge Road. Also, no delays caused so far. Otherwise, pretty clear in that section of Sarasota County. Farther south, a couple of red spots, 41 northbound, both by the county line and also up as you head toward Venice and Nokomis.
Breaking news this morning right now out of Indonesia, where authorities say a passenger plane carrying 189 people has crashed into the sea.
Yeah, the flight went down in the sea 13 minutes after takeoff around 6 a.m. local time over there. Search and rescue teams are on the scene looking for debris near where it's believed the plane went down. There are not believed to be any survivors. Relatives are on the shoreline looking out toward the sea. Sad scene there. Stay with us for more on the story throughout the day on ABC 7 and on our website, mysuncoast.com. Right now, the man accused of opening fire in a Pittsburgh synagogue has his first appearance in court this afternoon, and prosecutors say they may seek the death penalty.
Federal prosecutors have filed hate crime charges against Robert Bowers, a Pennsylvania man who authorities say stormed a synagogue and opened fire, killing 11 people and injuring others over the weekend. This is believed to be the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. Our Marla Spence joins us live in the newsroom with the latest on this developing story. Marla.
Yeah, Justin Ray, this is the man police say opened fire at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh on Saturday, killing 11. Today, he is due in court. Now, according to officials, Robert Bowers brought an AR-15 rifle and 3 guns with him at the time of the shooting and is said to have frequently targeted Jews with anti-Semitic slurs on a free speech social media platform. After the 20-minute shooting spree, police arrested him, and that's when Bowers told police he wanted all Jews to die. Now, today, Bowers' first court appearance will be later on this afternoon, where he faces a total of 29 federal charges, which are punishable by death. Locally, many are joining in to remember the lives that were lost over the weekend. A local Holocaust educator speaks out against the tragic shooting.
My goodness,
there are dozens and dozens of people right now who have lost someone very, very dear to them, who did nothing more than go to synagogue on the Shabbat to pray.
And here on the Suncoast, the Jewish Federation of Sarasota and Manatee is holding a community-wide vigil for the shooting victims. The event will be at the Beatrice Friedman Theater on the Larry Greenspan Family Campus for Jewish Life on McIntosh Road in Sarasota. You can find all the details about that vigil on our website, mysuncoast.com. Right.
Thank you, Marla, for the latest on this story and breaking news and your forecast. Check out our app. It's under WWSB or under My Suncoast. On to consumer news now. A new concern about buying used cars.
In the wake of historic hurricanes like Harvey and Irma, a new report warns of a 47% spike in the number of flood-damaged cars that are coming back on the market. ABC's Whit Johnson tells us what you need to know to avoid getting taken for a ride.
Thousands of cars submerged in underwater disaster zones, seemingly consumed by Hurricanes Harvey and Irma last year. But this morning, driver beware. Experts warning that many of these washed up vehicles are hitting roads and lots across the country.
Over the past year, there's been a 47% spike cars that have returned to the road that were previously flooded.
Used car tracking service Carfax says 150,000 flood cars popped up in just the past year.
It's going to corrode the mechanical system, it's going to short the electrical system, and it's going to impact the safety system to where your airbags and even your anti-lock brakes may not work when you need them.
And they're hard to spot. Carfax shows us how after a 5-hour makeover, this Hurricane Harvey damaged car looks shiny and new. Look at these before and afters of this trunk. Experts say these cars may look fine, but inside could be massive damage.
We found out the carpet was damp. They did try to wet vac it.
In 2015, Bob Sluss says he was approached by several customers.
They're not going to divulge that information to us because it will decrease the value of their vehicle.
Trying to trade in cleaned up, flood-damaged cars, but he caught them. And Carfax says these cars often aren't being sold in flood zones.
Many of these cars can be moved hundreds, if not thousands of miles away from where the flooding happened across the country and resold anywhere, some to people that have no idea that that car was flooded.
And with a busy hurricane season, they're expecting more.
As long as we continue to see severe storms and historic hurricanes like we've had over the last several years, we're only going to see these cars increase.
It will likely be years before crops in Florida fully recover from the devastating effects of Hurricane Michael. But a new study says Florida crops suffered over $150 million in damages from the storm. Almost all of the state's cotton crop was wiped out, with those losses totaling over $50 million. The state's peanut crop also took a big hit separately. The Florida Forest Service estimates that the state lost almost $1.3 billion in timber that would have been harvested over the next several years. And happening today, on a brighter note, all courts in the Panhandle and the Florida State University campus in Panama City will reopen. Repairs have been completed, and all courts in the 14th Judicial Circuit are ready to open. Public schools in Jackson and Liberty counties will also reopen, but schools say Bay and Calhoun counties will remain closed. Hurricane Michael made landfall back on October 10th in Mexico Beach as a Category 4 storm.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, a right and wrong way to take blood pressure. We'll have 3 tips you or your doctor should be following.
And another migrant caravan heads toward the U.S. We'll tell you why this comes amid clear warnings from the Trump administration.
It is 6:38 right now, and now we'll take a shot of the tower camera at October 29th. Looks like a peaceful shot out there. Let's check the drive time forecast from John Scalzi.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for us, Ray. I think we'll have quiet conditions both to and from work, hence no inclement weather boxes checked on the drive time forecast. We'll look for on the way to work, temperatures that'll be in the upper 50s. On the way home from the work, temperatures that'll be in the near 80-degree range. And if you're traveling today, all the airport hubs serving Sarasota, Bradenton International reporting on time, according to the FAA, even LaGuardia, which is getting a little rain shower right now, as is O'Hare. We'll be right back with your forecast.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hut hut! It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com. Ghetto's got it. Find out first at 4 with ABC 7 News at 4. First alert weather, breaking news, live updates, traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC 7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Investigate TV tackles the tough topics.
What happened to my life was awful.
When your health is compromised, we investigate.
They are really drug dealers in white coats.
Corporate greed exposed.
How do you trust them to run this program?
The powerful held accountable with in-depth journalism led by award-winning journalist Lee Zurich. We're your watchdog. Search Investigate TV on your Roku device. Download it now.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion. Learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
Donate today to the Hurricane Michael Relief and Disaster Fund.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
55-degree air temperature with a dew point value of 53 and a light east wind. When you have that low dew point value and light winds at this time of year, the temperatures can really vary from location to location. Cooper in central Sarasota, our youngest weather watcher, has 56 degrees. Al in Northport, 52. So does Scott in Pinecrest. Jeff, however, in Laurel Park comes in with 57 degrees. And Becky in Omayaca, the cool spot, coming in at 44 degrees. So some pretty wide temperature changes and differences from place to place, location to location. We have probably a daytime high coming in the low 80s for everyone today, and don't expect anything in the way of rainfall. That's not going to happen. We'll have plenty of sunshine right straight through the period. We have a big ridge of high pressure sitting over the deep south, the Florida Peninsula, and really you got to go all the way up into the northeast and down East Maine before you start seeing any inclement weather. That's part of the low pressure area that came through here over the weekend and brought us our big changes. That nor'easter continues to drift northward. We have here some quiet conditions. Don't expect to see any radar echoes popping up a little bit later on today. I think we stay dry. Our future cast put into motion. Hard to see much in the way of any changes. Maybe an isolated shower out in Gulf waters or sprinkle, a little bit of cloud cover, but that's going to be way out there, not near us. And we'll continue to have that easterly wind flow blowing throughout the day today, dry wind, and it should be just a really pretty sunset. This is the water vapor imagery that shows you where the moisture is and where it's not. And boy, I'll tell you what, over the Gulf waters back into Texas and Mexico, and of course, all of the Florida Peninsula is seeing that dry air locked in place, and it's really not going anywhere for at least 3 or 4 days. It looks like Halloween is going to be A-OK. No rain falling and some mild temperatures. It may get a little bit warmer and a little bit more humid as high pressure kind of starts to migrate out into the Atlantic. As that happens, our wind starts shifting to a little bit more southerly direction, and we do pick up a little bit more humidity, but it won't really be until Friday when we have any chance of rainfall whatsoever, and that will be with the next approaching frontal boundary, which is located well back to the west right now. So until then, sunny skies and low relative humidity. Can't beat it. We'll look for, again, Oscar to really not bother any land masses in the United States. Oscar, a hurricane forecast to even get it a little bit stronger, I think, before it starts to bend back out into the open waters of the Atlantic. North wind coming in at about 10 today. We'll look for just 2-foot seas and a light chop on Bay and inland waters. Nice day for boating. 81 our high today, 83 tomorrow. On Halloween, I think we'll enjoy some pretty quiet conditions. 84 our high, but we'll be down in the 70s for trick-or-treat time, and it'll be dry. Next chance of rainfall comes Friday with a front that moves through and clears this out and cools this off just in time for the weekend. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, John. Taking a look now at your first alert traffic as you commute to work on this Monday morning. We do have an issue on I-75 southbound at mile marker 222. There is reportedly an accident there. Does not appear to be causing any backup or delays at this hour. As we head into Sarasota County, another issue on I-75, this one northbound. There is reportedly fencing on the road at exit 207 near Bee Ridge Road. Again, doesn't appear to be causing any delays quite yet on the interstate. And as we head even further south into southern Sarasota County, there is an issue to report on State Road 17, US 17, excuse me, at Duncan Road. There is a building fire at Peace River Shore Boulevard, so be aware of that if you're traveling in southern Sarasota County this morning. It's 6:45 on your Monday morning. In HealthSmart, measuring your blood pressure is one of the most common procedures performed at a doctor's office every day. But according to the American Heart Association, it is also one of the most common procedures to get wrong.
The AMA has a few simple things they say must be done to get accurate readings. First off, when you have a blood pressure test, sit with your back supported and your feet flat on the ground. Next, make sure your arms are at heart level. And finally, sit still and don't talk during readings. Blood pressure tests measure the pressure in your arteries as your heart pumps.
Right now, more migrants have started the lengthy trek toward the United States. Over the weekend, a third caravan left El Salvador.
As reporter John Lawrence tells us now, the migrants might be greeted by the military.
Thousands of Central American migrants are inching north, attempting to complete the 1,000-mile journey to the United States.
I was crossing the continent of America to go to USA or Canada because in my country we don't have peace.
On Sunday, more than 2,000 migrants, mostly from Honduras, reached a Guatemalan border town. Local authorities prevented them from crossing into Mexico without applying for refugee status.
It's fighting, we're fighting between us and the government is there. It's not belong to us.
And the number of people that feel that way is growing. A third, smaller caravan left El Salvador this weekend. This group was brought together through social media. The Trump White House has given these migrants fair warning.
Return to your homes. You will not be allowed into the United States of America illegally.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen, appearing on Fox News, says the U.S. is working with Mexico on this matter.
They have taken unprecedented efforts within their territory to ensure an orderly flow and that those who have no legal right to be there are removed. We intend to do the same.
U.S. law gives migrants the right to seek asylum and receive a fair hearing. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The fiancée of the late Washington Post columnist says she'll only go to the White House on one condition. She told Turkish media that President Trump invited her, but that she'll only go if the administration takes action on the case. Saudi Arabia admits that Jamal Khashoggi was killed 3 weeks ago in its Istanbul consulate, but maintained that neither the king or Saudi crown prince knew of the killing. Well, U.S. officials believe the mission could not have been carried out without the Crown Prince's authorization. She also said no one from Saudi Arabia has called her following Khashoggi's death. Facebook has removed more Iranian pages targeting people in the U.S. and the U.K. The social media giant said it took down over 80 pages, groups, and accounts run from Iran. The account owners and page administrators typically pretended to be U.S. or U.K. citizens. Facebook made its findings public due to the upcoming elections. This is the second time in recent months that Facebook has removed Iranian content targeting Americans.
And President Trump is packing his campaign schedule before the midterm elections. The commander-in-chief's team says he will hold rallies in Florida and West Virginia later this week. The president will be in Fort Myers on Wednesday before heading to Huntington, West Virginia on Friday and back down to Pensacola on Saturday. Trump is expected to do at least 10 rallies in the final stretch before Election Day, doubling up on rallies many days.
Still ahead, your top 7 headlines before 7 a.m. But first, here's a live look at Miami at the Federal Detention Center where Cesar Sayoc is being held. He's the suspect, allegedly sent 14 package bombs to Democrats across the country. He could face 48 years in jail if convicted. Details of that story and more news coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
Like no other. So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds. No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm going to show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Welcome back. Here are the top 7 things you need to know before you head out the door at 7 o'clock.
Number 1 is John Scalzi's first alert weather forecast. John?
Yeah, well, it looks really good for us today. No doubt about that. As we head into the first day of the new work week, we're looking at sunny skies. We're looking at low relative humidity. But as we head into the end of the work week, I think then we'll work in a chance of rain showers as the next front approaches. We'll go back to give the details on that coming up in the next half hour. Back to you, Ray.
To traffic, there's an issue southbound 75 at mile marker 222. That's just south of the river. Be aware of that. No congestion so far. Otherwise, all clear on Suncoast roads.
Number 3, an aircraft has crashed in Indonesia with 189 people on board. Officials say the plane went down into the Java Sea shortly after takeoff. There are not believed to be any survivors.
Number 4, this man accused of opening fire in a Pittsburgh synagogue makes his first appearance in court this afternoon. Robert Bauer is accused of killing 11 people, injuring 6 others. Prosecutors say they may seek the death penalty.
Number 5, in South Florida, mail bomb suspect Cesar Sazyak is also expected to make his first appearance in federal court, where we could learn new details about his alleged crimes. He's accused of sending at least 14 packages to Democratic critics of President Trump.
Number 6, celebrations are underway in Boston after the Red Sox have once again won the World Series. Former Tampa Bay Ray pitcher David Price got the win last night as the Sox beat the Dodgers in 5 games.
Finally, number 7, what's trending? More than 60,000 people got a jump start on Halloween over the weekend in Key West at their annual Fantasy Fest celebration. This year's theme, Oh, the Games We Play. Folks from across the country gathered in downtown to watch the big parade filled with floats and exotically costumed groups. Key West tourism officials say Fantasy Fest brings over $30 million in revenue to the island every year.
You been, John?
A couple times, yes.
Yeah. I've gone. I was not there all last week, by the way, but I have been there in the past.
I've never even heard of it until today.
Oh, it's a big deal in Florida. It's a big deal. And it ranges from family fun to much less than family fun.
Otherwise.
Otherwise.
Thanks for watching Good Morning Suncoast.
Good Morning America is coming up next. Have a great day, everyone.